Hotep, I am the Amun Osiris, the one and only undisputed God of law. We are Deception Stoppers, America's only child support education service. I'm not a lawyer. This is not a law firm. I don't advocate that you don't support your human offspring. I simply advocate you made them in private and you take care of them in private. Today I'm going to show you a very secretive, I'm going to expose to you a secret, okay, that of course obviously no state wants you to know. All right, but I'm going to show you the basis of personal jurisdiction over persons. Okay. Now I'm using Pennsylvania's. All right. Every state has one. All right. Please do not email me and ask me for that state. You got to go and find it. All right. I'm using Pennsylvania's because I had to give a class on this the other day and it was just readily available. All right. So 42 PACS 5322. Basis of personal jurisdiction over persons outside this Commonwealth. Now, I don't care. A Commonwealth and a state are the same. A Commonwealth is a corporation. A state is a corporation. All right. The only difference is a Commonwealth, if you do your research, Pennsylvania under 1 PACS 1503, I believe, is a British colony under British colonial law. So that means all commonwealths are basically the property of the Queen. Okay, they're under British rule. All right. And again, if you're in one of those commonwealths, all you got to do is go to the general provisions in the statute. It'll show you that. But this is what I'm going to show you. This is how all states, all corporations, get their jurisdiction over an obligor. Okay? And basis of personal jurisdiction, we're going to slide down here. Right here. Number 9. Making application to any government unit for any certificate, license, permit, registration, or similar instrument, or authorization, or exercising any such instrument or authorization. All right. So in other words, if you fill out an application for anything in the state, driver's license, marriage license, maybe unemployment, okay, registration form, okay, if you filled out an application in the state, they automatically obtain personal jurisdiction. Now, it's a limited time that they have that personal jurisdiction. All right. If nothing within a 2-year period, then of course statute of limitations is up. Okay. However, let's look at how the state intermingles with the 4D crime family. Now, again, the SSN, the Social Security number, is the key piece of information around which the child support information system is constructed. All computer searches need the Social Security number in order to operate effectively. Okay? So in other words, gentlemen, the key piece of information, key means what? Indefinite description of property made certain. So they have to use their property in order to effectuate to establish a child support case. Okay? Now, thus in 1996, the Welfare Reform Law and the amendments in the 1997 Balanced Budget Act, Public Law 105-33. Read it, gentlemen. It's a good, you'll find out some good shit in there. Congress gave child support enforcement agencies access to new sources for obtaining Social Security numbers. All right. The reason they did this because child support cannot go, without a Social Security number, it will not work. All right. All computer searches. All right. Child support is a matching program. If they don't have a Social Security number to match with that program, all right, they cannot effectuate a case. Okay. Okay, so they have to have a social. Without a social, if by chance you didn't have a social, you would not have a child support case against you right now, or excuse me, against your person. Okay. Now, in addition, the 96 law required that the Social Security number, any individual, look, here it is, subject to, aren't you free? Free means not subject to control, restriction from a given outside source. All right. So a divorce decree. So if you got divorced, okay, support order, paternity determination, or acknowledgement, okay, they all require that the Social Security number be attached to it, because without it, that computer matching system, that computer search will not work. They cannot find an obligor, nor is an obligor created. All right. Now let's look at some pictures. This is a, what is this? All right, this is a state of New Hampshire driver's license application. Look down here, social security information. See it right there? Okay. If you don't put that social security information on there, they're going to come back and tell you, we got a problem here, buddy. Mm-hmm. Look, here's a marriage license application. Right here, line 3, social security number. Okay. The funny part is, gentlemen, and unbeknownst to you, you have been hanging yourself by applying for shit from the state. Okay? They're using that social security number to put you in financial bondage. You are not required to pay anything associated with that social security number because it is the property of the Social Security Administration. They are obligated to pay it. I just wanted to do a short video to show you how they're tracking you down. See, I've heard somebody say that if she puts your name on an application, that's forgery. That's not forgery. All right. If someone signs your name on an application, that's forgery. But writing someone's name on a form, on a government form, is not forgery. Okay. Now, when that social security number is written down, the person writing it down is automatically saying that I'm going to be surety for this property, and that debt that is incurred against this property, I'll pay it. But unfortunately, the Social Security application does not inform you of that. So that is a violation of due process. And since they violated due process, then the Social Security Administration is required to handle the responsibility of payment imposed against this property. Okay? But I just wanted to show you, and look, you'll notice on any of these forms, does it tell you anything? Let's see. Your marriage and license certificate will be prepared with your legal name, exactly as it appears on the identification presented. Okay, what is the identification you presented? The Social Security number, or maybe a driver's license, which you use the Social Security number to get. It is your responsibility to present the proper identification, to have your name reflected as you desire. Typographical errors discovered after the ceremony may be corrected upon written request to this office. Marriage records will not be changed after the ceremony to reflect the names and different from the names on the identification presentment at the time the license was issued. Issued means to go forth as authoritative and binding. Unless extenuating circumstances exist and proof of the correct name is provided. Corrections of marriage records will be approved on a case-by-case basis and may be subject to a $74.50 fee. By signing below, I acknowledge that I have read and understand the statement above. Okay, on this marriage license, and I'm just going to give you a little gold nugget. Does it tell you anything about what this Social Security number is going to be used for? Does it? Does it give you? Does it afford you any due process? Does it say on anywhere on this form for your look down here and it says attention? It don't say nothing in here about we're going to use that Social Security card to track you down. It doesn't say anything about we're going to use this Social Security card and to attach a child support debt to it. Okay, it doesn't say anything like that. It doesn't say we're going to attach a debt against that Social Security number for spousal support or whatever you want to call it, alimony. I don't care. It doesn't say anything. It's a violation of due process. I just want to bring that out there to you for those of you who got suckered into getting married, and the clerk of the court, who is a 4D contractor, was under obligation, okay, to inform you of the legal consequences that arise from a failed marriage resulting in children that you're going to go into debt. Because if he or she would have told you that, you would have never probably signed this document. Okay, but I digressed a little bit. But the fact of the matter is, this is how they're collecting everybody. Okay, once that woman goes down there and let's say, okay, she applies for Social Security. Let's say she didn't give them the social security number that you hold. Okay. Let's say she just may have gave them your name. What they're going to do is they're going to go through that database, right? And like I told you, they'll pull up a picture. They'll run that name through their database, all right? That data matching system, and they'll pull up a picture of the driver's license holder, okay, matched to those names, and they're going to say, okay, do you recognize any of these? Yeah, this is him right here. They're going to go back to the motor vehicle department, right? And they're going to get that social security number. Okay, if they, I mean, more likely they probably already had it once they discovered the picture. They associated the picture with the number, right? And then, bam, that's how they got it. That's how they find the bank account. That's how they find the employer. That's how they suspend the license. That's how they take the tax returns. Anything connected with a social security number, all right, it is their property. They have access to it and they can do with it what they want. Now, I've never advised anybody to get rid of the social security number. Okay. But you have a look, you can use it or don't use it. If you survive off it, it is what it is. Okay. The easiest way to not be subject to the provisions of a social security number is just to simply not use it. All right, because when you use it and you think you're using it to get a benefit, they're going to turn around and use it against you. You're going to be get damaged and suffer losses. Your life is going to be destroyed. All right. And nobody's telling you that. That's a due process issue. Okay. I just wanted to share that with you, gentlemen. All right. And the proof is in the pudding. Okay. That social security number in a child support case is what is hindering you. You somehow, some way, you contracted to be surety for that number. Well, actually, you did that by accepting mail and going down to their hearings as opposed to returning that shit like I've explained to you before. Okay. You did this to yourself. It's your ignorance. Your ignorance is their wealth. Trust me, child support is, I think it's a $500 billion a year industry. It's up there. That's like 9 zeros. All right, and you fed right into it. So, if you want your freedom, you start. I would, if I was in your shoes, I would start bringing these things to the attention of of somebody. Now, let me see here. Driver's license. Does it say anything on this driver's license application other than requiring? Look, it says required. Okay. Does it? Okay. I have paid residential taxes or interest. Does it say anything about what that social security number is also going to be used for? Huh? You see it on here anywhere? Only thing I see is I have paid all residential taxes or interest and dividend tax for which I am liable and I am required. Insurance certificates are on file with the Director of Motor Vehicles. My driving privilege are not subject to or under disqualification, suspension, or revocation by any jurisdiction. Does not apply to non-driver ID. This application is signed under penalty of unsworn falsifications. All right. Penalty of unsworn falsifications, gentlemen, is a 7-year prison sentence. So when you put the social security number here, you're actually violating unsworn falsifications. That social security number is not yours. Okay? So they're actually duping you into committing a crime. I also showed you by opening the mail under Title 18 is a crime. These people are doing nothing but turning you into criminals. You're mindless. You just keep falling for their tricks. Okay? The reason we're giving you this information is so you can stop falling for their tricks. All right? Don't take my word for it. Get yourself a copy of the Federal Manual of Child Support. It's page 15. And go to any state, all right, and pull up any state application for real estate license, fishing license. They all require a social security number. Okay? Without a social security number, the federal government cannot track and bill its property. They cannot collect rent. You cannot be a pay rent. Okay? You can't pay rent. So if they can't find the non-custodial pay rent, then they're not going to get the rent paid. All right? So, gentlemen, again, this is a golden nugget. This is information that you can use. Do not take my word for it. Again, this is an education service. What you do with this education is up to you. But I strongly suggest, since there is Social Security information on here and they didn't tell you what it was going to be used for, they didn't tell you that they were going to give it to the child support agency, all right, then the Social Security Administration is responsible for that debt. That card is that name, that number, and that card is their property, all right, and they're responsible for that debt. The letters on YouTube, write it, send it off, start kicking people in the ass. All right, if you need me, my information is in the description box, and get yourself a copy of the Federal Manual of Child Support, gentlemen. Okay, if you need it, just Google it. It is Section 8 Federal Child Support Enforcement Program. Okay, and download it and print it. Okay, and if you want a thorough copy of it, all right, that copy is pretty thorough. It says what it needs. But again, worst case scenario, go to the law library. All right, all this information is available. All right, or if you feel as though you want more, then go to the Federal Office of Child Support Enforcement's website. You can also download it from there. Okay, I'm the Ahmed Osiris. All right, you put yourself in this position, but here's the thing: you didn't know, you got duped. What you did was when you apply for that driver's license, when you apply for vehicle registration, when you apply for the job, all right, when you apply for the fishing license, the marriage license, all right, the insurance policy, okay, the electric bill, all that shit, all right, you put a Social Security number on there, okay? And unbeknownst to you, guess what? That Social Security number in child support, okay, it identifies only a non-custodial pay rent, which is or obligor, which is the property of the Social Security Administration. Social Security Administration is the registered owner of that property, so therefore, any bills pertaining to that property, any levies such as tickets, fines, or debts should be directed towards the Social Security Administration. It's no different than you lend a friend your car and he goes downtown and pays the meter but doesn't get out there in time, and maybe a couple of tickets get written on it. Where are those tickets, those letters? Those tickets are going to be obligated to be paid by who? The registered owner of that car. I'm the Ahmed Osiris, gentlemen. All right. Obi-Wan has trained you well, but you are not a Jedi yet. All right, so let's get your heads out your asses. All right, let's get you free. All right, let's get you educated. Hotep.